Today, computers are in virtually everything we touch, all day long. We still have an image of computers as being rectangular objects either on a desk or in these days in our pockets. But computers are in our cars, they're in our thermostats, and they're in our refrigerators. We need to care about what the future of computing holds because it is going to impact our lives all day long. Computers are the future. According to a report by Forrester Research, there were over 1 billion PCs in use worldwide by the end of 2008. Yes, 2008. Imagine what the number would be in 2018. And in 2015, 86.8% of all households in the United States had a computer at home, according to Statistica. Those are some crazy numbers. And now, so I wanted to talk about why it's important to have these programs. So these computers, especially, and then like why it's so important to have these computers because of the coding and what that coding can do. So here we go. Okay, so here I have a program in Java, and it's pretty much a program that every business uses because it's very important to use. So it pretty much calculates employee pay, and let's just run that. Okay, so it's gonna ask what is the wage of our employee. So let's give him $10 an hour, and he's gonna work 40 hours a week, and then he got 5 hours of overtime this week. Okay, so that's gonna calculate and give us $475. So that was very simple and easy to do. We just had to put in 3 things, and then we were already done. Now, compared to that, if we had to do this for 50 people, it's easier to do that than to write it out all on paper and calculate that. So this is like showing how important computers are. And so pretty much if I was going to do this on paper, I would have to be like, okay, so how many hours did this one person work? Okay, 40. Okay, and then how much is his wage? 10. So 40 times 10, that's 400. Then now I have to add his overtime. So his overtime is going to be 1.5 times his wage, so 10, so it's going to be 15. Then now I have to add times by his how many hours he had, so that's 5, so it's going to be $75 he made overtime. Then you have to add that to his normal total, which is going to equal to 475. That's way harder than me just typing in 3 variables and just getting the answer ready. So, and that's just how important computers are, especially in today, and then in the future they can do way more better things that help out in today's society. Okay. Yeah, pretty much coding is an ever-evolving system. It's very important that it does evolve because the fact that it's its own language. Without it being evolving, it would just stagnate and couldn't it wouldn't provide the right things that the world needs at that moment. And that's why it's important that it does evolve. And then also, so Kevin, tech leader at Wildebeest, says, quote, if your goal is to quickly learn the basics of coding, your career could be started in as little as 3 months, end quote. And then this shows us pretty much how easy it is to learn code, but not how easy it is to master. So pretty much he said it's easy to know the basics of code, but not to master it. And then, so like if I wanted to learn code right now, it's going to take me 3 months. But if I start working on it to master it, it's going to take me way longer than that. And that's just because of the fact that it takes perfect precision to do this. And it requires this because of the fact that if I have one capital letter, it could mess up the whole program that I just showed up on the screen. If I do that, it'll mess up the whole program and it won't work like it's intended to do. And that's why it's required to do that, because without learning the 3 months, just learning the basics, you're gonna mess up something. And that's, yeah. Thank you.